my moves and I'm a head up bobbing. Don't calm down like the life in Compton. Show him my notches, tell him what he not is. Do I need help? Now tell him that I got this. I'm a grown man, age golden. Depend on nothing but my own hand. West of the map, I was born to attack. My hat to the back when I go in.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Hajilicious, and welcome back to my prediction series. Today, we're going to take on the Week 4, I should say, NFL matchup of Raiders at Ravens. But first, let me touch on a very weird win the Raiders picked up last week against the Tennessee Titans. They caught a huge break in not having Delaney Walker play. He was held out at the last minute. That was a big loss for the Titans. I think that was really... because the Raiders won 17-10, and I really believe Delaney Walker's absence is the difference in that game. It was, however, a game that was surprisingly won on defense. And after the rant that I had and the numerous other Raiders fans had against Ken Norton's defense, they came in with a whole different look, whole different attitude. And if the Raiders can somehow keep that up, and that wasn't a fluke, and they can hold teams to 10 points a game, they're going to win a lot of fucking games. But first thing I noticed was a big scheme change. And that was they brought in Corey James, had his first full start at middle linebacker. And Keith McGill, I kept seeing him show up in linebacker situations in the box, which is something I haven't seen from him before, but he played remarkably well. Carl Joseph got his first start out there. He was out there. He had a great game, 10 tackles. He didn't get blown up for anything, so that was a win for him. But it was a completely different look than we've seen for the first two games. Sean Smith showed up. This is the first time we've had a Sean Smith and Reggie Nelson sighting all year. Both of them got picks. Reggie Nelson had himself a hell of a game. David Amerson, my God, he had 5 pass deflections in this game, and I want to say he has 8 or 9 on the season, behind last year's pass deflection leader Marcus Peters of the Chiefs. He's still balling out. Oh my God, man, David Amerson, he was out there. He was swatting balls down. He was he was everywhere. He was making Marcus Mariota's life hell. Another interesting thing I saw was the play from DJ Hayden. And I'm a big hater of DJ Hayden, mostly because he hasn't played up to his draft stock. But they had him playing against the slot receivers. And one thing I noticed was they had a lot of plays where he was shadowing receivers on crossing routes or playing zone coverage. But everything they had him on was plays where he's either running alongside his receiver and looking at the quarterback, or sitting in zone looking at the quarterback. They kept him out of the situations that he had problems with when he was at the outside corner positions, where Amerson and Smith are playing, where you run downfield and you're keeping your eyes on the receiver, but you got to turn your head, look for the ball, and make a play on the ball while not getting burnt by your receiver. Something DJ can't do. But he was laying the fucking wood on some people. Like, he is so much better when he's got his eyes on the quarterback and can play the ball. Because the kid is pretty fucking smart. He just, for whatever reason, when he plays outside, he can't turn his head around, loses the ball, gets burnt crispy. But that wasn't happening today, on Sunday. So it was nice to see that. Sebastian Janik, let's talk a little bit of special teams here. The special teams usually doesn't get a lot of love, and the Raiders got a couple motherfuckers out there in Marquette King and Sebastian Janikowski. Jano, longtime vet, he hit a 52-yard field goal in this game, which gave him the record for most 50-yard kicks in a career. And what can you say about Jano? He's one of the original. So he's one of the I think he's the only remaining player left from the 2002 Super Bowl team. But people have been saying he's getting old, counting them out. But man, I love me some Seabass. That guy's a motherfucker. Marquette King has, if kickers don't get a lot of love, punters get none. And let me give a little love to our punter here, Marquette King, because the Raiders have historically had some of the best. If you top 2 punters ever. I mean, the way I look at it is fucking Ray Guy and Shane Leckler, and I think King's going to pass at least Leckler. He had 7 punts in this game, 3 of the punts were inside the 20. He had a 60-yard punt. I mean, that guy, he's a fucking sniper. He's so good at putting that ball behind the 20, getting it usually out of bounds. The cover team will usually help him out there. But that guy gives us great field position fucking all the time. He rarely ever kicks it out of the end zone, gets touchbacks. I mean, there's not a lot you can say about Marquette King other than he's a fucking badass. One issue I saw this game was at right tackle, and Menelik Watson hurt again. I mean, it doesn't look serious, but the guy can't stay fucking healthy. Him and Nerian Ball even Mario Edwards Jr. Like, those guys, we need them to stay healthy because they're a couple of those key pieces that keep the Raiders from being great. They're always fucking hurt. Our run defense right now is fucking atrocious. DeMarco Murray ran all over, like I predicted, ran all over the fucking Raiders. They didn't have anybody like Delaney Walker out there to really, take it home and seal a win for them. But fuck, that run game is just not there. Bruce Irvin got himself a nice strip sack. Khalil Mack was invisible again. I don't know. I mean, he's there. He's getting in the face. He's getting his hurries, getting his pressures. But historically, the kid's kind of a slow starter. So, I mean, I'm never going to count him out because the guy is a fucking monster. But he needs to get home. He needs to get sacks. Vandal Alexander, like I mentioned, Menelik Watson getting hurt, came in and played at right tackle. Played surprisingly well. So, I mean, Mike Tyson's doing a great job with the linemen, keeping these guys, in a position to, come in and perform well. Feliciano, there's a bunch of guys on that team. I mean, Austin Howard was still banged up. I mean, we're not in dire straits at right tackle right now, but it'd be nice to see these guys stay fucking healthy. One issue that I saw, and I thought, oh, here we go, same old fucking Raiders, was after the Raiders got their last touchdown, and it was 17-10. Mariota, I mean, the defense might not even come out for the last 2 minutes because they got fucking stomped on. They have no 2-minute defense. Like, none. Absolutely none. Like, Mariota, 4-played it from the 20 all the way down to the goal line. And if it wasn't for a complete bonehead play by Lewin, their left tackle, who had DeMarco Murray got to about the 1-yard line, and Lewin came in with his weird, head first dive into the pile, which was unnecessary roughness, and cost his team very, 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 very valuable field position right at the last minute. Mariota tossed a would-be touchdown pass to Andre Johnson in the corner of the end zone, but Andre pushed off on TJ Carey and got a pass interference. Another play right there that kind of shot them in the foot. But, I mean, that was the saving grace for the Raiders with those 2 penalties. Otherwise, I have no reason to believe that Mariota wouldn't have got a touchdown right there because they did nothing to fucking stop him. It was frustrating watching that last drive because the defense played pretty good up until that point, but no run defense, nothing over. It wasn't like they were playing prevent defense either. It's a lot of teams go to prevent defense, which is like a fucking surefire way to lose a game. The Raiders didn't. They held on. Got a pretty good little win there, but let's move on here. This week they got the Ravens. The Ravens are currently undefeated. They picked up wins against the Bills, Browns, and Jaguars. Not exactly the elite of the elite there. I would say the Jaguars, talent-wise, are probably the best team that they played, but so far it's the Bills, I would say. I mean, Browns, I don't know what the fuck to think about them right now. But the Jaguars are completely, they're 0-3 right now, and Gus Bradley's on the hot seat, so I can't really look at them as a quality win. Again, historically, this is not a game the Raiders go to win. They're 2-0 on the road right now, which is the first time since the 2002 Super Bowl team the Raiders have done that. So there is a little bit of hope there. They're playing surprisingly well on the road versus, shit in the bed at home against against Atlanta. But this game is another game where I see, I mean, we've seen a resurgence of Dennis Pitta, and that fucking worries me. He's going to be healthy and ready to go, and Justin Forsett and Terrence, I mean, Justin Forsett and I believe it's Terrence West is their 1-2 at the running back right now, and they're not anybody that I look at as world beaters, but against the way our run defense has been playing, fuck, they might as well be. I think Justin Forsett's gonna put 100 yards and a touchdown down. Dennis Pitta, I think Dennis Pitta is gonna give us some fits. I think this is not a game that favors the Raiders right now. It's teams that run well and play a lot of shit over the middle. It's gonna be just the Achilles heel of the Raiders. So this game, I'm kind of looking. I don't know if they're going to have any crazy late game heroics or if the offense comes alive. Because like I said, if the Raiders can hold teams to 10, 17 points, something like that, they can win a lot of fucking games. Because they're a team that can score 30 points. But John Harbaugh's, his Ravens team is nothing to fuck with. Like, even when they're bad, that team is still pretty fucking good. So for this game, I think the Raiders pick up their first loss on the road. To the tune of 27-20. I don't think we're going to be able to handle Pitta. I think Flacco's too fucking smart. He's not going to take a lot of sacks or pressures. He'll get those little dump passes to Pitta and Forsett. And I think he's the way that I see Harbaugh playing this game is going to be very conservative. He's going to let his defense do a lot of the work. He's going to run the ball. He's going to keep Derek Carr in that offense off the field. Because if he can abuse our secondary and can abuse our linebackers, I mean, hopefully we found our fix here with the scheme change. And Corey James and Carl Joseph are the missing pieces that we need to that defense. But until I've seen a couple games and they can prove to me that what I saw in Tennessee wasn't a fluke, which I think it was, it's hard for me to pick the Raiders as a win here. So we're going to go with that 27-20. Ravens are going to win this. Raiders will be 2-2, I believe. If they're 3-1 coming out of this game, I'm going to be really impressed if Ken Norton Jr. turns this around. But like I said, until proven otherwise, that's how I'm going to call it 27-20. Ravens win. Thank you guys for watching. My week's been a little busy, so this video's coming out a bit late, but please like, comment, subscribe. As always, go Raiders and go fuck yourself.